Hey guys, Happy Dude here, and I read and hear a lot about problems with BMW brakes, especially overheating and crooked disc brakes. So, is the problem really the brakes or you, the driver?
Now, I admit the brakes of BMW in the past haven't been that good, but they improved it a lot. The disc brakes have a special coating and holes in them for the heat. You can also see gaps where the M badge is, that is to absorb the vibrations and also to let the heat escape. So, no problems there. Now the brake calipers are also strong enough and they also can endure the heat. So the problem must be the driver, right? Well, sort of, not entirely. Most of the problems are just because the original brake pads are not good enough. People forget that a BMW M car is not a racing car for on the track, it's just a sports car. So it's designed to drive as good as possible on the road, and occasionally you can drive on the track with it, but not all the time. So the brake hardware on the car, like the brake calipers and the disc brakes, are good enough, and you just have to replace the brake pads. Now you can ask yourself, why does BMW uses these brake pads? Well, it's just because they work in all conditions and they don't vibrate and they don't squeak as a brake pad that is designed for on the track. So these are the best brake pads out there for your BMW to drive on the track. The Paquet RS29. They can take a lot of heat and punishment. They brake a lot harder. They also bite a lot harder. And the harder they get, the better they work. And they also last way longer than the original brakes. But the downside is when you're driving slow on public roads and they are cold, they make a lot of noise. And that's why BMW uses the normal brake pads, because most of the BMW drivers don't want that noise. So most people have winter tires and summer tires. I have winter brakes and summer brakes. I also strongly recommend that you upgrade the brake fluid so you have a higher boiling point. I can recommend Castrol SRF Racing because I use it myself. If you don't know how to do that, please let a mechanic do it for you. Now let's talk about what you're doing wrong. If you're driving on the track, it is important that you turn off the traction control completely just by holding this button for 5 seconds. And you will get this message on your dashboard and the iDrive. This is to make sure that the car isn't braking for you when you're driving hard into the corners. When you're done racing on the track, make sure you do a few cool down laps without using the brake pedal too much. When you park the car, don't use the handbrake, but put the transmission into park mode. Otherwise, your brake pads will stick to the disc brakes. And that's why you get vibrations while you're braking. Also, when your brakes are still hot and you come across a set of traffic lights, don't press and hold the brake pedal. Same story here. Okay, now what to do if your brakes already give you vibrations? First, spray some Iron X cleaner on it. Wait until everything gets purple and then clean it off with water. After you've done that, it's time to install the new brake pads, the Paquet RS29. And while you're at it, also replace the brake fluid. After that, just take some sandpaper. I use 180 grit and just start sanding the disc brake. Of course, you can only do one side, and it's a lot easier when the wheel is still off. Okay guys, if you did all of that, the next thing to do is just simply drive around and brake. Start with pressing the brake pedal softly at a lower speed, and then increase the pressure on the brake pedal. Do it again. Make sure nothing is behind you. Do that 5 times. Now, because these brake pads are much harder and can resist a higher temperature, they should take off all the excess brake dust that is on your disc brake. Now, after you did that 5 times, drive around for 15 minutes to make sure the brakes are cool again. Then, when your brakes are cooled off, do it again, but at a higher speed and with some more pressure onto the brake. Also do that 5 times. Then again, let the brakes cool down, and then do it a last time at a higher speed and with full brake pressure. Now, while you do that, you should feel that the vibrations in the car or the steering wheel start to fade away. It could be that you have to do this a few days. Like for instance, I had to do it for a week, and then all the vibrations were gone. Now, if it doesn't improve, that means that your disc brakes aren't straight anymore and you will have to replace them. But I think my method is worth trying, since it doesn't cost any money to do, so give it a shot. Okay guys, thanks for watching and you all have a nice day, and don't forget to like. Bye!